Broadcasting live from Iona University, this is WIUR Radio.
What is up with it, everybody? Live from the studios of WIUR Gales Radio at the Murphy Center at Iona University. Welcome to Ball Knowers alongside Luke Dolan, who is just joining us now, and Robbie Basil. I am Cam Woolley. So the main talk tonight, slow time in sports week after the Super Bowl, kind of a no man's land for guys like us trying to come up with content. But thankfully for us, the NHL and the Four Nations face-off has graced us with this incredible storyline and this moment tonight. Nearly a decade in the making, the United States will be facing off, no pun intended, against Canada for the Four Nations Face-Off Championship in Boston, Massachusetts. The first time the United States has had home ice advantage in a best-on-best match against Canada. Robbie, Luke, how are you doing?
You could start. I think this is fair. I would start with Luke, but I'll just put my 2 cents in this before Luke, I know, has a lot to talk about the game tonight. As a whole for this tournament, I didn't know what to expect. I don't know how much people would try. Apparently, I was wrong. I was very wrong. And a lot of effort has been thrown by all 4 of these teams respectfully, with the Swedes and Finland putting on a show for themselves as well. I mean, you had a very competitive tournament from start to finish, a couple overtime games. We got to see the overtime format. We talked about that last week. But I'm so excited for this game tonight. You know, we saw USA against Canada in the first matchup. Canada got the score, opened the scoring early on, but it was Dylan Larkin and company who came out on top with the win. I think, who was the other scorer? It was a DeBrusque?
Gensel. Twice.
I keep forgetting which Jake I'm talking about because there's multiple Jakes. But it was Jake and Bake, and then it was Dylan Larkin who were able to pull away with the 3 goals.
Eternally underrated Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
I mean,
please get him off Detroit, please.
Oh my God, dude, he is so good.
Can we sign
Like,
him to the
I
Islanders?
remember when I saw him on that roster, I'm like, dude, Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin's going to do something.
Annoying.
And he is so good. And this American team, I mean, they're skilled and they're tough. I wish they were healthy because, man, dude, that defense, if they had Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy on it, that would be so helpful.
Yep. But best wishes to Charlie McAvoy. What happened to him?
Yeah. I mean, I know Luke has a lot on that, but
I mean, it's a lot of unbased rumors. So I'm not going to disclose what I think.
Like, yeah. This guy's Mr. Speculative over here. But like, I'm
just saying, there's a rap sheet.
yeah, from the. Don't worry about it.
But anyways,
this is
finish your point.
Yeah,
I mean, we look at this rivalry, and you look at the big picture. You can't ignore the political environment here.
I mean,
you just can't.
Kind of.
I mean, it adds a lot more to it, and in international sports, you can't really avoid it. And
I mean, that's why the Miracle on Ice was as big.
Yeah, the Miracle, because it was the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Although we aren't like direct adversaries with Canada right now, there's been some spats, there's been some stuff. You know, we won't really get into it. It's not a political show, but again, new politics and sports, they sometimes interconnect. You know, the president of the United States he spoke to the locker room of the USA hockey team to juice them up for tonight's game. The Canadian Prime Minister, I guess former Prime Minister, I don't know if he's still in power over there.
I don't know about a lot about Canadian politics.
But like, he pulled up to Montreal for the first game, and just it added another layer to this rivalry. And I'm gonna tell you, I thought I was gonna try and do like the cool liberal thing and be like, no, I'm not going to root for you guys. But the second I heard Canadian fans booing our national anthem, I'm like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I just got hit with this nitrous oxide boost of patriotism of of just oil reserves or like I got injected
With hockey.
with a vaccine of bacon grease and fossil fuels and just
on top of
every single American material that you can think of just directly into my bloodstream.
And general hockey bitterness.
The second I saw Matthew Tkachuk drop the gloves with Brandon Hagel, and then followed by his brother, Brady Tkachuk. I used to hate those guys before this week. Now I'm thinking about buying one of their jerseys.
It's been so.
And then like
I feel so great to have both.
And then a few seconds later, you have JT Miller fighting. But he kind of got he got ragdolled in that fight.
He gave a lot of size in that.
I mean, yeah, dude, JT Miller going up against Colton Parayko. 9 seconds in, you have 3 fights. 1 in international play. I can't stress enough.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
But it's because it's NHL.
Yeah, because it's NHL and not IHF. The IHF, they wouldn't play for the rest of the tournament. But
they probably wouldn't, yeah.
But I know Steve Dangle made a point on that. But since the NHL is sanctioning it, and I thought the rivalry would be more like respectful. It's like some of these guys are teammates, but no, dude. There's hatred.
There's been a lot of building
these
up.
teams do not like each other.
U.S. has finally gotten good. We no longer have Brooks Orpik as our number one shot
we know
defender.
It's like Sidney Crosby was sitting there thinking, it's like, what the hell, man? I used to go up against Brooks Orpik. I used to go up against Brooks Orpik and like what other bums used to play on the USC? And like James Van Riem's like, no disrespect to him as a player, but like he would not make the cut on this team.
Not at all.
I mean, well, he's old too.
Yeah, like I'm talking prime James Van Riemsdyk.
Still, JVR would not make this
like
team.
I love JVR, Middletown, New Jersey. He's a local guy. Love him, but it did not inspire a lot of confidence in me.
Yeah.
Also, like, think of all the young guys. Think of Jack Hughes. Think of Austin Matthews. Or Austin Matthews, not really young, but like think of the
Matthews is not young.
No, but think of the guys who are on their. Think of all the guys who are in their 20s who didn't get to play.
Well, also
in Vancouver, who didn't get to play in Sochi.
Yeah.
Who didn't get to play in the World Cup of Hockey. Those guys grew up watching 2010. They grew up watching 2014. They grew up watching us lose to Canada. There's bitterness there.
And also, because of the NHL and their ever so wisdom, never put their players in international fight, which is why they shouldn't be getting this much praise because they should have done it sooner.
Yeah, they should have done it sooner. But
Yeah.
Johnny Gaudreau is not here, and he never got to play. Like, in the
he
Olympics.
never got to play. Absolutely, that is a tragedy.
And I think he was. I don't think he was on the. I think he was on the North American team, so he didn't even get to play USA hockey.
Yeah, he never got to represent his country
outside of maybe like World Championships, but
like nobody cares about the World Championships. The World Juniors hold more stock
for sure
than the World Championships.
But that's the tragedy. Johnny Gaudreau never got a chance to be here. He definitely would have been here if he was.
He would have. He would have, and he
whatever you
would
thought
have
about him
killed
as
it.
stats, whatever you thought about him as a player at that point, he still would be here.
He would have killed it too.
Yes,
I would have loved Johnny. He would have been on a line with Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes.
That's absurd.
That would have been.
Think about.
I mean, like, and I'm talking about some of these. And another layer to this international game kind of coming back is you have players who you're getting exposed to, who you're getting newfound respect for, and making like there are multiple players who have made fans out of me. Take a look at people like Brock Faber and Matt Boldy, guys on the Minnesota Wild, who I could not care less about. And now I'm seeing
Jacob Slavin also is.
And now I'm seeing Jacob Slavin.
Good show.
I knew was really good,
that.
but like I'm sitting there every single time I see Jacob Slavin on the ice, I'm like, yeah, that's an American right there. Like I have a newfound respect for so many guys. I mean, Zach Werenski too, who has had
been underrated, who's been
phenomenal tournament.
Eternally underrated because of all the injuries he has.
Injuries and also just playing for Columbus.
That's also true.
Yeah.
How didn't he have like a giant contract with Columbus?
He chose to resign there. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. At least the Columbus Blue Jackets have something nice. They have a healthy Zach Werenski.
And the Columbus,
they're in a playoff.
I mean, Kirill Marchenko.
That's a good shout too. I mean, they have some decent players out in Columbus, but I want to make this point real quick. And the build up from this tournament and when it concludes tonight, I think has a much more seismic impact than what people think. Because you brought it up last week that the World Cup of Hockey is coming back. The buildup for that, because of the success of this tournament, is seismic.
You can even go sooner. Next year's the Olympics.
Exactly. Even better. The Olympic Games.
Oh, yeah. This is
World
a
Cup of
teaser.
Hockey. This is
An appetizer.
the appetizer
Yeah.
for the meal of the Olympic Games. And you will see other countries be seen in the Olympics too. I don't know which one specifically.
Russia.
I hope
Maybe
they bring.
Russia.
I hope they
Russia
bring
is
Russia back.
loaded
Czechia.
too. Czech
yeah,
Republic are a good
Czechia.
squad.
I mean, I don't.
Isn't there-
I don't know about Czechia. Is
They're
not
all
really
right.
like a big place.
They got a lot of talent.
They have a
I
lot
mean,
of
yeah,
talent, but
Czechia is good,
they're
but
gonna
are they
beam
like
like a
USA,
truck.
Canada, Russia
probably,
good?
Probably not. But I'm saying you gotta get
Sweden.
more teams.
Yeah,
They also
but-
have David Pastrnak too.
Yeah, they have pasta.
Oh
said
yeah, that's right. David
Czechia,
Pasternak's
Pastrnak.
Czech. I could have sworn he was Swedish.
Really?
You
Could have.
you didn't
I
see-
could have sworn he was Swedish.
You
But
didn't
like
see-
I didn't see him in this. I don't know what I figured it was just a guy I didn't notice. Like I'm
Who else would be in this tournament?
for Czechia,
No, I meant like team wise. How many teams make the Olympics?
Switzerland.
Oh, the
Switzerland.
Swiss-
Oh
my
no, you will
Swiss-
see me. You will see me bandwagoning Switzerland.
I
have a
Nico
reason.
Heischer, Timo Meyer, Jonas
Oh, Ger-
Siegenthaler.
Germany probably too.
Oh, the Germans.
Yeah, Germany.
And
Yeah, Leon.
may-
Well,
and
Germany is just Leon Draisaitl and
Tim
Tim
Stützle.
Stützle.
So
I
it's the
think they
Edmonton
got some other
Oilers
guys,
excluding Connor McDavid. It's the Edmonton Oilers excluding Connor McDavid half the season.
Oh,
Because Leon Draisaitl
then
and
we
McDavid
have-
carry the team.
I mean, at least when I remember watching in 2014, Slovenia and Norway being carried by Mats Zuccarello and Dante Kopitar. And Slovenia.
I would say Kopitar. You know, he's had a great season.
No,
as well for the
Anze
Kings.
Kopitar. That guy just doesn't
Unkillable.
age,
Unkillable.
man. I mean, he's probably going to be playing for Slovenia in the next Olympics, and he's going to
I
do
hope
Are
a
they
good
even
job.
gonna
I hope
make
they have
it?
six jerseys again. I hope.
Oh my
there's
God, the
six-
jerseys. I mean,
hold on. Yeah, let me see.
the one question I now have is, with this being an appetizer and all, and we have so many great teams, and we'll probably see all four of these at the Olympics again. That build up for that tournament next year, it's going to be incredible. But I think we should still focus on how. I mean, there's a lot of good nations that can go out and win a gold. It's not automatically Canada. It's not automatically the Swedes. Russia is loaded. And I honestly thought,
What
without
about
us?
us?
I was getting
Yeah,
to us.
Yeah.
You have the perennial contender of the United States as well, but I saw a video yesterday of what the Russian national team would be if they weren't like banned from everything. They're loaded, like more loaded than we think they are. Like they're a great bunch that would have I think would have a better shot than Sweden beating the United States or Canada. Like that Russian team is
Yeah,
I think I found
really good.
That
I found
team
the
is
Slovenia
goaltending is a
scary.
question mark for them because
Wait.
consistency is I mean, they have isn't like Shesterkin.
He's from Russia.
He's
Yeah,
Russian.
but yeah, Shesterkin's right. They'd have the best goalies.
Oh yeah, they have the best.
But-
goalies.
I mean,
I was
Connor
bringing up,
Hellebuck.
Connor
Connor Hellebuck
Hellebuck's
is
the
so
beast.
good.
I was bringing Vasilevsky for maddening and consistent rating.
Oh yeah, Andre Vasil. Jeez, their backup goaltender is going to be either Igor Shesterkin or Andre Vasilevsky.
That jersey
So he's
green.
yeah, for Slovenia in 2014.
That's kind of atrocious.
I
The-
just kind of
the-
like
the
colors.
green?
I don't like the. I don't like the.
That
what's
doesn't do anything with the
I thought
country.
I thought the Slovenian flag was.
It's blue,
Eh?
red, and white. It's
Here we
like the
go. Here we go.
Serbian
Okay, well,
Slovakia.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's-
The bottom of the jersey at least looks kind of good.
I don't know, but there's
Can
a
we have the
difference.
Slovakia
And
jerseys?
but
please?
there's a difference of vision.
Remember, there's a lot of great teams. There's a lot of good teams that won't be in the tournament, obviously. But we can focus on the Olympics next year when we're at least still here at camp. But
I might. We'll see.
Luke might be here. Who the hell knows? But the question here is simple: who wins tonight's game?
I'm terrified because I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I genuinely do not know. These teams are. I mean, dude, but
Now,
if our defense was healthy, if
Or-
our defense was healthy and we had Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy, I'd feel a lot better about our chances.
Sidney Crosby scares me.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby scares me. Connor McDavid
And
scares
the-
me.
the-
Nathan
McKinnon.
McKinnon scares me.
I
Mitch
just-
Marner scares me.
Well,
Every single time on like last weekend when I was watching the game, I was sitting in my living room. Every single time a Canadian player had like remotely any space and had a zone entry, I'm thinking, I was like, oh my God, that's insert player here. I'm like, oh my God, that's Braden Point. oh my God, that's Brennan Hagel. Oh my
Yeah,
God, that's
It's the Tampa Bay line.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
that's-
It's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh my God, that's Mitch Martin. Dude, when it is a miracle that they didn't tie that game with the
I can't
The
believe
net
it
empty.
either. But
dude, they had
True.
no. I was sitting there. I yelled out loud all the players that they had on the ice. I was saying,
Did
I'm
you
like,
actually?
I'm like, oh my God. I was like, there's 2 minutes left and they have the Justice League out there. This is who the Canadians had on the ice with the goalie pulled. I have never been more terrified watching a hockey game in my life.
and also,
I'm trying to remember who it
no,
was.
it was McDavid,
Did
Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart, Marner, and it was quarterback by Josh Morrissey.
also they're gonna
And
get, they're
also,
gonna get Kale McCarr back.
and Kel McCarr's going to be back. So
That's,
if we're up by 1 goal with 2 minutes left, we're basically seeing that unit, but replace Josh Morrissey with the best defenseman on earth.
Yeah. But the best defense. Yeah.
Josh
The
Morrissey is a
offensive,
shout,
especially.
by the
I
way.
mean, well, Josh Morrissey,
He's
dude,
fine.
Isn't he on Ottawa?
Norris contender.
Ottawa?
He's on Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Wrong
He's,
Canadian team. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're perennial Norris contender.
Yeah.
I forgot. I completely. I knew he was playing for a Canadian team. I'm like, Ottawa, and they're like, no, Winnipeg. Like, there it is. Like, you forget that Winnipeg is like absolutely god tier this year, even though they've struggled prior to the Four Nations a little bit. But we're not focusing.
They don't. For some reason, they left Mark Scheifele off the team.
Yeah, and they left Mark Scheifele off the
That
team.
made no sense. Like, Scheifele.
They could be,
and
but
like-
although to be fair, we kind of left Tage Thompson at
He
home.
plays for Buffalo.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
really good.
He's on Buffalo. Like one of the worst team in the East.
I mean, yeah, not Tage Thompson's fault, not Rasmus Dahlin's fault. Dude, Rasmus
Rasmus
Dahlin.
Dahlin was playing with great players finally.
I know.
Yeah, you got Rasmus Dahlin playing on Sweden. Yo,
Oh,
look
he's
at
having-
that.
He's on his point per game this season. I didn't even realize.
What is
that.
it?
He's point per game, 40
Man,
points.
yeah,
40
Oh,
games.
yeah,
really?
Tage Thompson.
I didn't realize. I thought he had.
And
yeah.
he's not to mention
Get him
like,
off the Sabres right now. He's
Also-
on an 8-year contract though, so you kind of can't.
Also, like when there was talk about the roster makeup of the American team, we got to think about what their game plan is.
You gotta
And
have good
I think
chunks.
on
Good chunks.
Saturday we saw what that game plan looks like. We saw a reliance on defense, not giving them,
space,
not
in the
giving
middle,
Canada a lot of space in the middle, playing sound defense,
playing the 1-2-2.
like just playing as back as humanly possible, and minimizing, because if you can't play super offensively, because if you get caught pinching, you have an all world, no matter what line it is, you have an all world offensive player going the other way.
Yep.
And that includes the defenseman.
That's
You have a threat to score
No matter what.
going the other way.
And
And I guess it was just to, and I know Fred, this had John Tortorella all over it. That I think that's partially why they brought him onto the staff, because he is known for playing.
also he was on. Mike Sullivan was an assistant under Tortorella when he was with the Rangers. That's
That
kinda
makes
funny.
sense.
So that's kinda
Also,
funny.
like the coaching.
we're gonna have to call John Hines and David Quinn good coaches.
Dude, John Hines has been okay. John Hines has been doing a really good job in Minnesota.
Yes.
Let's be fair here. I mean, maybe like John Hines, I guess like the roster makeup of the Devils didn't suit him when he was here, and that's fine. That's fine, dude. I mean, the Devils have Sheldon Keefe now.
The funniest
which
part is
I'm-
when they called
like,
time out in the
okay
Sweden
with.
game. They saw David Quinn draw up a play, and people
But,
were
like,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
it's
well,
wraps.
it's done."
Yeah, if it's
done."
wraps.
Oh,
It's wraps. Yep.
and Eichel was like pointing around, like, "Oh, wow, he's telling him how to do his job, like he was in BU, like they were in BU." I just think it's terrifying because I don't know how I can handle myself if we lose again. But I feel
Especially with all the my god,
All the
dude,
stuff going on
it
as
would
well.
be.
I mean, that
it
stuff is
would
it's
be-
kind of irrelevant to me, but
No,
I think it's gonna. I think
No,
it's gonna,
it's
No,
a factor
I'm
though.
not
You
even talking
can't
it is a
ignore it.
factor.
I'm not talking about that, but it's like you're able to go out to Canada
and beat
in a
them.
hostile environment and beat them, but then you go on your own home soil and lose.
But it
like,
also
we
be
know-
1-1.
We know USA Canada rivalries are building in other sports as well, which we'll be able to see that in March. Soccer is building.
I don't know. About
They're number 1 and number 2 in North
I
America.
mean, yeah, I know. I know they're number 1 and 2
Shout
in
out CONCACAF,
CONCACAF.
CONCACAF is
Like, I
building.
know. Well, for now, I mean, Mexico's probably going to rebuild. at some
Mexico is
point,
cooked. Sorry. Actually, no, they have a 19-year-old that's like really good.
it
Shout out
does.
Santi
I
Jimenez as
love-
well. But that's not what we're talking about. We're
I
talking
think-
about hockey.
I think the game will go to overtime.
no.
If that goes to overtime, it will kill me.
Probably.
I will
No.
die. You will not see me here next week if that game goes to overtime.
Will this show be able to survive another week? Find out if the United States wins tonight. But
Oh,
game
no,
prediction.
the show will survive. I won't.
Game predictions right now. Go. Cam first. Actually, do you want to go last?
I want to go. I
Cam's
don't
last.
know if I can predict this.
Luke.
3-2 United States.
I'm gonna be harsh here because I don't.
I mean,
The score I have is 4-2, and I've said 4-2 when I was making this prediction last night. The question was who would actually win, and the Canadians will be seeking revenge. It's gonna depend on the first period for me. Who sets that tone right away? Are we gonna see 65 fights again? Like we?
I can't imagine that.
I mean,
No,
who knows? Who
No.
knows?
You gotta
what the
have
beginning-
your best guys on the ice.
Do we just set the tone again? Send all 5 of them to the bench? Do we fight with the goalies? Who knows what's going to happen in the first 10 seconds?
Canada has predicted lineups.
Lineups, read them.
Stone, McDavid, Point,
Oh, what?
Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart,
They're keeping Sid and McKinnon together.
Hagel, Sorelli, Marner,
I forgot about
Marchand,
Sorelli.
Bennett, and Jarvis.
Jarvis.
the-
Sam
Jar-
Bennett and Seth Jarvis.
That's a weird one.
Brad Marchand on the fourth line.
Brad Marchand and Sam Bennett on the same line. Oh my god, that sounds terrible. Oh my god.
Defensively.
Devontae's, Kale McCarr.
Hey, shout out Islanders.
Okay,
Devon
Devon
Taves.
Taves and
Islanders,
Connor
Be a
Devon
Crosby.
guy.
Shout out Devon Taves.
Josh Morrissey and Colin Pareko.
What?
Travis Sanheim and Drew Doughty. And the goalies Bennington and Hill.
I completely forget.
They're dying on the hill of
They
Jordan
played him against
Bennington.
Finland.
He played good against Finland, I thought, for like
Oh,
at least
well-
the first 2 periods.
And then like the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, That was god awful.
uh,
That was awful. That I'll agree with what he's gonna say, and I will
He
save
almost,
him from
like-
it. That was atrocious. We
He
haven't seen that bad of goaltending. I was gonna make an Islander reference, but we haven't lost big recently, so I can't really make that reference. But it looks like the Buffalo Sabres from a couple of years ago. So that's all you need to know. But
I don't know what the US lineups are at the moment.
that Canadian team looks solid. I'm gonna say the United States win 4-2. I've died on the hill
here
of
we go.
4-2 for a
I
week.
got the United States.
Read 'em.
lineups. Gensel, Matthews, Hughes,
Jesus.
Okay. No,
Brady, Eichel, and Matthew. And when I say that first name,
the
Kachucks and
the
the Kachucks and Eichel.
Like a Chucks and Eichel.
JT Miller, Dylan Larkin, Matt Boldy,
Wow.
Brock
Okay.
Nelson, Vincent Trocheck, and Kyle Connor.
Hey, Brock Nelson, Islanders legend. Brock Nelson.
Defense: Zach Werenski and Jake Sanderson,
Oh.
What?
Noah Hannafin and Adam Fox,
Oh.
Jacob Slavin and Brock Faber,
Okay, that's the only like pairing that gives me
What?
confidence.
and Hellebuck and
Oh.
Ellinger.
The only way.
I'm flipping my pick. Canada wins. Those lineups suck. Next. Canada wins. I hate to say it, and Cam will not be here next week.
I think.
I thought Jake Sanderson played well. I will just say that. Right
I
now.
like
He
Jake
played- he played well.
Sanderson, but what?
we lost to Sweden.
We
Yeah,
just.
well, it didn't mean anything to us.
But no, but you need to still have form going into a final.
Like
Like,
I'm being a little bit of a homer here, but like they called Brett Pesci up for what? Dude, put Brett Pesci on the right side.
well,
He's a shutdown
the
He's a
problem is-
proven shutdown defenseman.
all right,
and that,
Charlie
and you
McAvoy is
need
there.
the pro-
and you need shutdown defensemen who can play the right side.
the problem is that they don't have any other like real injuries, and they can't really bring them in.
right.
They didn't get the
Doesn't
Mafia didn't,
Canada
the
get
Mafia
an
didn't
extra
get the
def-
Jake Sanderson in time.
Didn't Canada get an extra defenseman for this or whatever?
Yes, they got Thomas Harley because both McCarr and Theodore went out in like the same.
Oh
week.
yeah, Shea Theodore's out. I mean,
Shea Theodore.
Tyler-
as a,
I love him as
I
well. by the
mean,
way.
like,
the LTIR, the path for LTIR for Vegas right now.
like I'm trying to.
listen, all I know is that Mark Stone going to survive this game so he can Vegas can put him on LTIR
well, the
again.
joke is that Mark Stone, regardless of what happens tonight, has looked lost because he's not used to playing hockey this early.
Like, yeah.
this season.
That's a good one. I like that.
And I can't wait for him to score like big goals
okay,
tonight.
so like
and then go to the LTIR right after
Yeah.
the game is.
Okay, so I'm trying to weigh everything here.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, if we're looking, I like our forward depth,
Yep.
but I hate the way our defense looks, at least relative to what Canada is bringing and the loss of Charlie McAvoy. Honestly, I think it's going to come down the. I mean, I know Connor Hellebuck is going to outplay Jordan Bennington. Like, I'm fairly confident in that. He's been on fire in this tournament.
Yep.
He's been on fire all year. He is probably unanimously going to win the Vesna.
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
I mean, I think he should. Like, I don't think there's any goalie on earth who's close to him.
Rip Jacob Marsh.
But like, even if Markstrom were healthy,
That's what I'm saying.
much as it pains me to say, like, I want to roll with this team. I'm going to root for them the whole way, but I think Canada ends up beating us like 3-1.
We have
I can't really predict the score, but I think Canada with the defense, Kel McCarr being healthy, I think they're going to cover up enough of Jordan Bennington's mistakes. I think we can win. We've proven that we can win, but I think we're less healthy, and it's really on that back end. Like, that's bad. If we had Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy, I'd maybe be singing a different tune.
Right.
But we're too loose.
I just think it will go to overtime.
Vengeance Day is inevitable for.
And Austin Matthews will score an overtime winner. That's my bold
I
prediction.
I need to see Jack Hughes have a big moment. I think he's due.
We have the U.S. winning Canada. The lineup changes how much more dominant Canada looks on paper, and we also have Canada. Find out who wins tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Probably puck drop will be at 8:30.
8:20.
Like 8:30. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Find out.
I might go out. I don't know.
You might. I mean, I
Dude,
can't.
I might. Dude, keep me posted on that. It's like my night class.
So
Cam's
Cam's
my professor usually lets out class around like 8.
I mean, only
aren't you like doing like filming something for your class today?
I mean, yeah, I am filming something, but I
See,
don't
usually like after you're done filming, you can get out of that class like immediately.
No, I'm saying I have it's a science.
Oh, I thought you had an MSc class.
I don't have an MSc class.
Rip science. But there is one other thing we need to discuss, unless you guys want to stick with hockey real quick, because there was a baseball thing that came up about an hour before our show started today. And it is with Cam's New York Yankees, as we have developing story from the Bronx. Well, it's not really the Bronx. They're not in the Bronx. They're down in Florida with spring training opening tomorrow. I believe, is it tomorrow?
I don't know.
Or is it today? Who knows? Because I know the Cubs.
I don't know when the Yankees.
The Yankees play tomorrow. I know that for a fact because they're playing at the same time as my brother is playing. So here is your spring training opening game. It is in 3 hours. There is a game today. So if you like baseball, tune in to whatever. It's the Cubs and the Dodgers, but no one cares because tomorrow, from Steinbrenner Field, it's the Yankees in the race.
And
the Yankees, the home team, extended the coach again.
I was gonna say the Rays are gonna be playing there.
That's what I was gonna get to next.
Yeah.
But there's two home teams essentially in this game.
Yeah.
We have the Yankees extending Aaron Boone through 2027. 3 years, technically a 2 or 3 year extension, however you want to look at it. Yankees fan in the room? All eyes are on you.
I'm like,
thoughts on this?
I'm sort of defeated at this point in regards to Aaron Boone. I like, as much as I think there are better options out there, I don't really know what a manager can do. Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, he made some bad decisions in that World Series. So, like, game 1, he kind of lost that game.
The over managing and
like he got outmanaged by Dave Roberts in a playoff series.
That was something.
That is shocking.
Like he got like, yeah, that was bad. Like I'm not like tweaking out about it because
it's business as usual.
Like it's just business as usual. They won the pennant last year, although that was mostly in part due to Juan Soto, who's cross town at Big Brother now. But like I'm gonna call him Big Brother because that's what the Mets are now. But like, I mean, sure, you still got to play the games, but at least from an optics standpoint, the Mets have kind of taken over this town in baseball. But The Yankees, I guess, like with Boone, I don't really know what else to do. I'm not like excited about baseball. I kind of know what's going to happen. Like, at least with last year, there was like Soto, there was an air of, ooh, things might be different, and they were different.
You got the World Series.
Like, we got to the World Series, we got our ass kicked in it, but we still got there.
Progress.
I don't really know. Like, this team's a nursing home. They got old Paul Goldschmidt. Cody Bellinger's like super inconsistent. I think he'll be okay. But again, dude, you're trying to replace the Hulk with like you're bringing like staying with the MCU. Like you're trying to replace the Hulk, like prime, like 2012 Hulk, Battle of New York Hulk, with not talking about Infinity War Hulk. That guy sucked. But like I'm talking
Well, he couldn't
2012.
transform.
I'm talking 2012, 2015 Hulk.
And he's replaced by
And you're replacing him with like Rhodey and Falcon. Like or something. There's, like,
Okay.
I mean, guys
I
who are
kinda
like
get that, though.
guys
I
who are
kinda get
like
that.
okay, like they're solid. That they're good supplemental pieces to a team. You're okay with having them there, but they're not the Hulk.
right.
Like they're not the guy who that's like technically it's more, at least on offense, because like the pitching, I think Max Fried and Devin Williams are big ads. That is huge, 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 huge. I think there is a path for the Yankees to make it back to the World Series just because the American League is so weak and the Yankees have,
Until you guys get
I guess,
no
like,
Arenado.
I guess fundamentally have gotten better, but I don't really know what's going to happen. There's still that Marcus Stroman thing looming over our head. Like there are more things I'm concerned about with the Yankees right now than Boone's extension, and I'm really going to have to say
How is that announcement from Jeff Passan that Nolan Arenado is getting traded to the Yankees going to hit? how will that hit?
I don't really. I'm gonna be like, okay. I mean,
More
it's
old people.
it's better than what we had, but like, the window's like about to be shut. You don't know how long Judge is gonna keep this up. You don't know how long Cole's gonna keep this up.
Oh yeah. That happened.
Stanton's like 35 now.
Oh, he hasn't like swung. What's
Yeah,
happening
like
with him?
his
hurt
elbows
again.
are dead. But again, okay, I'm staying off Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh yeah.
I am not. That guy is immune for the rest of our lives. That guy, he shouldn't have to pay for a drink in New York ever
He
again.
shows up.
That guy carried us to the World Series last year.
with Juan Soto.
Yeah, with Juan Soto, obviously, who's not there. But like, I mean, Judge, you could argue he's detrimental to this team's quest of winning a World Series and how much he disappears in the playoffs. I don't have any love for that guy until he shows up in October. Every single home run he hits, when I'm paying attention, I'm going to tweet, "That's nice. Do it in October." In quote, I will say that. Like, I'm okay with him having a human offensive, still really good, but a human regular season if he actually shows up in the playoffs. But like, I don't know, man. This team's a house of cards, and I think the Stanton injury and the reality of everything setting him at spring training and having no third baseman is starting to set in. This team's a house of cards. It's like, I think if one thing goes wrong, like if Judge regresses, like if Judge regresses back to humanity and like maybe misses some time with injury, the team's cooked. Say Cole doesn't retain his form, the team's cooked. Fried takes a step back, as seemingly every big money Yankee pitcher outside of Garrett Cole does. We're cooked. The only thing that I'm like really confident in is the bullpen, because I think you got a really good back end there. Jonathan Loaisiga coming back if he stays healthy, which he isn't. But you have a back end with Tim Hill, Ian Hamilton, Luke Weaver, and Devin Williams. I think
That's
is
pretty good, pal.
I
That's
think
not
if you
bad.
I think if you have like a 2-run lead by the 7th inning, I feel pretty good about any situation. But I'm just looking at this lineup. I don't know if they can. This doesn't look sustainable, because with the Yankees, injuries are going to happen, and significant injuries are going to happen. They're always significant players who are big cogs in this machine. It's never insignificant guys like say whoever our third baseman is going to be. Well, that DJ LeMahieu gets hurt all the time, but
I forgot he was still. Oh
but
my
like
God.
say it's never a guy that the team can live without.
Right.
Last year, Alex Verdugo played a fully healthy, like 140 something games.
Is he even on a team?
No,
No.
he's not.
No, he's not on
How
team.
is that
And he
possible?
started World Series games, by the way. So
How is
So,
that
like,
possible? Explain
mean,
that to me.
I mean, this is what an this is what an organizational philosophy toward player personnel of half measures
Is
does.
Dominguez going to get a chance?
Like that is what Dominguez is starting now,
Okay, that's good.
which is good. That was the bare minimum of what they needed to do after Soto walked, was to
Where are they gonna
give
play him?
Dominguez. They're playing him in left.
What are you doing with Cabrera?
Oswaldo Cabrera on that. I
Me
want him
too,
starting
man.
at third. Out of all the options we have right now, I want Oswaldo Cabrera starting at third or Oswald Peraza. DJ LeMahieu should not see
The
an
field.
inning.
Watch out of all of our spite, like how we all despise Josh. Oh, you guys despise Josh Donaldson. DJ LeMahieu, we are opening day starter.
That dude, he said it's the worst decision. So of course that's what they're gonna do.
I mean, to be fair, Marcus Stroman is pitching tomorrow. Like
But it's spring training too.
he's actually playing in a game though.
I mean, maybe they're just advertising him.
No, I'm saying like
it's obvious that they're trying to move him.
no kidding. But like he hasn't really done a workout with the Yankees, and they're just throwing him into a game, which I feel like is pretty odd.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Mets-
Because they're
it's
finally
odd,
doing
dude.
it.
the Mets need a pitcher. No, I don't know. I don't know if I want Marcus
I do
Stroman
not want
again.
Marcus Stroman
Yeah.
back. I will. I mean, there was a reliever I wanted, but he went to the freaking Nationals.
Well, Montas is shut down for 6 to 8 weeks.
I know.
But yeah.
I wanted a reliever, but he went to the freaking Nationals. Sorry, Lucas Sims. You could have been really good with us.
It's
I
like
think-
the-
Now you get to
I'm
probably
gonna
get
have-
traded to the freaking Braves at the end of the season.
I'm just waiting for like the announcement of like, oh, Jose Quintana's resigned with the Mets.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
coming. That's probably coming now.
That's-
I
that's
think
such
Jose
a mess
Quintana
move.
is gonna come back. Dude, this offseason has been Soto and re-signing a bunch of homegrown talent.
And also
Yeah,
signing.
I mean, you're
Well,
signing
Frankie
players
Montas
who
and
were
then-
in New York the year prior. You signed Juan Soto and Clay. Starting pitcher Clay Holmes.
Oh
That's
my god, I forgot about Griffin Canning. Oh my god, he's our 5 starter.
Well, he's our bullpen guy. Well,
No,
Paul
now
Blackburn-
he's not.
Well, okay, I guess. Well, until we get Quintana, possibly, or if Brandon
No.
Sproat gets up here.
Hell, I don't want to start Griffin Canning. I got no hate against Griffin Canning.
It seems
He's-
like you do.
no, so funny.
It seems. I don't know.
funny
You seem
Griffin
like you very
Canning
do.
Let me just do a funny story about Griffin Canning. So back in, remember when MLB the show? Y'all play the show, right?
Yeah,
A little
kinda.
bit. So
Yes.
you're gonna introduce custom leagues. I played with the loss. We all got driven. It was me and my friends, and we all got drawn into a tournament, and I got the Angels. And my best starter, this is when Ohtani was still there. My best starter was not Shohei Ohtani in a battle royale custom league. It was Griffin Canning. Was my best starter who had a sub-2 ERA in a tournament with like guys who were like significantly better than me.
I also just realized you were wrong about Griffin Canning being their sixth starter.
What?
Tyler McGill, baby. He's got his 10
Oh my
starts again.
God, let's
He's
go.
got his 10 starts again.
I
I knew,
honestly
I knew that was going to happen. I knew somehow, some way he would find his way into
That
10
guy's
games.
a roach.
He just
Dude,
keeps
you,
being.
you
I
can't-
don't
you
hate
can't get
Tyler
rid of that
McGill.
guy
I
at
don't even
all.
hate Tyler McGill that much.
No, I'm saying
I
like
hate
he's a
Griffin
roach,
Canning.
as in like he always sticks around.
Wait, so what's your rotation now? That with no,
So,
so it'd be
It's
Senga.
Senga, Minaya,
Minaya. Great one too,
Peters-
by the way.
Peterson,
Oh God,
Holmes,
Oh,
Blackburn,
no.
McGill, and then Canning. I guess those are your starting pitchers.
Concerning. David Peterson, the starter for us.
I
Yeah.
think
No,
He was good last year.
the Met
That's one good
rotation.
year.
I
One.
think like
Okay.
I mean it's like with the Mets, their lineup is good. Like I think with
the
Alonso
rotation
back,
is god awful.
Alonso back.
Why
I
you don't?
think that
You don't
I
like
think that-
Minaya and
I
Dakota
think
Senga?
that
The
I think that
1-2 is
lineup.
great.
I
but
think that
he's-
lineup stabilized itself this offseason.
Yeah.
with Alonso and Soto, but I think that rotation is
I
a
mean-
big question. That
I mean, they said the
bullpen-
same. I mean, they said the same thing last year.
Man, I don't really
would
know
say
about.
that.
Man, I don't really know that much about the bullpen either. But again, dude, that
You
Met
have
team.
AJ Minter.
I mean, again, that Met team last year felt like magic. This year, it's not
There's
supposed to be
there's
magic. There's expectations. There's a lot on you guys. You have to perform. You can't be if you're gonna be the big act in town, you can't play the funny, lovable underdog trope
I will-
anymore.
Can we
I
sign
will
Lance
just, I will just
Lynn?
say you're the only person that's like giving us that act. Okay.
Can we
The-
sign
as
Lance
the big
Lynn,
dog here?
please?
Okay. You're the only one giving it that right now.
No, but
I haven't said a thing.
But that's the end game. That's the end game, though. You're
It- I
seeing
mean,
a
it
lot of
certainly
talk on
is.
social media. You're seeing a lot of stuff here. With Soto, signing Soto, that's the first shot.
Literally
Like they
5
fired that.
Listen, literally 5 years ago, we were still dealing with the aftermath of the first deal of the Wilpon falling through, having no idea what was going to happen. And now we have Juan Soto.
Yeah.
That is
What a-
true. The buildup has been miraculous.
We have Juan Soto and
But again,
Francisco
dude, like
Lindor.
this Met team, you can't really talk about like miracles. You can't really think about this team as like a miracle team anymore. This is a team that has expectations. This is a team that should be
A playoff
like
team.
I saw a tweet
Yeah.
from like the 7-line account saying we should throw a parade for these guys after losing the NLCS. You can't pull stuff like that anymore.
I know.
Right.
You can't do that, dude. If you want to
I know.
if you want to sit at the grown-ups table, you got to act like grown-ups.
I mean,
I will well, you see, I like fun.
You
I
can't
love
applaud-
Rivas, okay?
I mean, yeah,
We-
but
well, we need to re-sign
no,
Jose Iglesias then.
no. You can't have fun at every single little gimmick, dude. This is the price you got to pay.
This
The
is what,
Yankee-
this is
No,
what
yeah,
separates us.
You think Yankee fan? You think the Yankees are all about fun? No, we're not all about fun. We're about one thing and one thing only.
You're
winning.
fun- you-
The
you-
fandom is
winning.
about winning.
Now, I thought it
Hold
was.
on,
Now,
I mean,
thought
the
it was
fandom
to
is
have
about
fun.
winning.
no, I
No. You can't do the fun gimmick anymore.
I thought
You
their gimmick
can't
was
do that.
losing in the ALCS.
You signed Juan Soto.
Well, they
You
did.
signed Juan Soto. The second
That was
that
pretty fun.
pen hit paper on that, you can't be treating every single little thing as like the coolest thing ever.
We gotta
You
enjoy
have
life.
Hey, listen,
expectations.
Wait a minute. So, I mean, Juan Soto was the coolest thing ever.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying things outside of that. I'm saying things like
We
a
didn't do
stupid
anything.
gimmick song, like with Jose Iglesias, who's gone now, by the way. You can't be
Future
pulling.
Washington National.
Like, you can't be
Jose
pulling. Yeah,
Iglesias.
Jose Iglesias seems destined to be a Washington National for the
Again,
rest of his career.
Again, by the way.
I mean,
Was
yeah,
he
Jose
actually?
Iglesias.
I thought
I
he
mean-
played for the Nationals like 3 years ago.
I have
No, I think he
don't
was
think-
on the. I don't
I think the
remember.
Red was-
Where did Jose Iglesias? I think he was on the Reds.
Can we look at that, please?
I'll look at his
Some
face.
National League team that wears the
I
color red.
Exactly.
The Reds.
The Reds. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
it was. He's destined now to go to the Nationals. But my thing is, one, this is why we don't when we have expectations.
He's
Your
also on the Angels and
expectation
Red
just
Sox.
losing the ALCS every year, other than last season. Like
No, but I'm saying the standard.
that's why we have fun.
I mean,
because
the
our
standard's
standard
getting
is
up.
being
I mean,
bad.
yeah,
and
your
we stay
standard's being bad.
consistent.
Your standard. What is the standard still going to be being bad?
Yeah.
After you sign Juan Soto, are you going to? You
We had
can't
one
keep
good
up.
season.
You can't keep up this victim act forever.
I know that.
You can't.
Obviously,
If you're gonna, like, it comes with the territory.
both of
Comes
us
with the
playing
territory.
competitive.
That's the part of
Now,
contention that
I know
that kind of weighs on a fan.
right.
but you know,
The novelty wears off quick. I'm just warning you from a
Oh,
perspective
we know. We
of a fandom.
Well,
the
we made
novelty.
the World Series back in 2014 or 15 or whatever it was, and then we sucked afterwards for a couple of years.
No, I'm
The
saying like
season- two
I'm
seasons
saying the
afterwards, yeah.
expectations.
I know.
I'm
well,
saying the
it seems like-
expectations and the consistent winning. The novelty, like at least in the regular season, consistent performance in the regular season, the novelty wears off and it wears off quickly.
I know. I'm a Mets fan. All right. I've seen bad.
No.
teams.
You don't know consistency in the regular season.
I
You're
know
going to
consistent
see it.
bad teams.
You're going to get it. You're going to get consistently good teams in the regular season, but once the standard adjusts, it's going to lose its novelty and it's going to fall apart quickly.
Says
I've
a-
seen.
Like,
I've
it's
seen
gonna become-
quick playoff.
It's
exits,
like
okay?
dude, like 90 win seasons used to be like a huge deal for you guys. They're going to become routine now.
I know.
Like
Cool.
that's going to become routine.
That was a change. That was a nice breath of fresh air.
And the standard is going to change. You're going to go from planning parades over wild card berths to being infuriated if you get knocked out in the NLCS. I can tell you for a fact
do
that
you-
is what is going to happen.
Did you not know?
Yes, I know the Mets have had a bad history. I know this.
You know how mad I was that final week in 2022, right? You know how mad I was. All right.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I know that, but because there was a
I was
standard.
I was more mad than you have ever been about a Yankees loss.
That's not
I
I was more
mean,
mad.
you've seen me. You have seen me get mad.
Have you seen
I'll- I'll th-
we ticked them off? Like, remember that?
Well, you see, you do it publicly. I
mean,
can't
yeah,
do
yeah,
the stuff. I do
Yeah,
it
I do it public. Yeah, I do it publicly. Dude, You're a crash out. You're a private.
On TikTok.
You're a private crash out connoisseur. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a showman with it.
That last week was one of the worst.
Oh
weeks of
yeah,
baseball
It was first.
ever.
This is like when we first started getting to know each other, and you
Yes.
were. Oh my god, dude, that was a bad week.
It was.
And the thing is,
Dude, that was a
that's what
bad
comes with. That's what comes with having standards, though.
I know.
It's the moments like that. No, I'm saying once you get further, that was a regular season collapse.
and then it extended into the postseason.
Yeah, and it extended into the postseason. I'm saying like a good regular season where like you don't really have a lot of bumps. I mean, obviously a regular season you're gonna have bumps where you think the sky is falling and the season's over. Like obviously, then the 162 game season, that's natural.
It's long.
Like that is natural. 162 games, you're gonna have at least a couple weeks where you think the season's over.
Yeah.
Y'all
But,
thought
like-
that back in like June or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I thought that back in June. Every
you
fan
were-
base thing.
And you were
Every
in
fan
first.
base.
You were in first place.
Yes,
that entire
yes,
time.
and that's gonna happen with you. That's gonna happen with you. You're gonna be
We're not
leading
gonna be
the
in
NL.
first till like August. So like
You're
the
gonna
Braves
well,
being
do it. I
inevitable.
mean, hey, you guys. I'm saying in the near future, you guys are gonna have.
we
years-
spent a significant amount of time of days in first place in our division in like the last like couple of years and have not won a single division title.
True.
A significant amount of days in first place. You
But
know,
again,
If only the
but again,
Braves
like
and the
it's
Phillies
those
did-
slumps where you think where like it's gonna be natural.
Like at least
You're gonna have
At least
those.
there were a couple of years where your division was atrocious. Like our division, both of our.
Oh no!
divisions
The only
were
reason the
competitive
Yankees
all
won the AL, dude, the Yankees had a proper free fall in like
Mhm.
June that extended into July. That was a month and a half where the Yankees were the worst team in baseball outside of the White Sox. That team was
they
atrocious.
really are having a mid off.
like for a good month and a half.
Battle of two teams.
The
that are not
only
winning World
reason
Series.
the Yankees
so I mean,
won,
the Yankees still belong.
like the only reason the
They have
Yankees
a
won
great
the
history.
the only reason the Yankees won the AL East last year was because of the Baltimore Orioles also
oh yeah,
collapsing.
That's a big yeah.
All the Baltimore Orioles needed to do was play 500 baseball from June on, and they would have won the division.
Yeah.
And probably, I don't know if they would have won the pennant.
No.
I don't know, because I think that, I mean, you had Giancarlo Stanton going Super Saiyan in the playoffs, although the Yankees in the ALDS last year did not look that good, but they just happened to play a worse team. But like
AL
the-
Central team.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they played-
multiple AL
they
Central
played
teams.
the AL Central. Yeah, we played 2 AL Central teams and we won the pennant. Yeah, big eye roll. Like, I'm just like,
I can't wait to do MLB season predictions here because
I mean,
we
but,
might
like,
have to do
this
that for a
is-
video. We might have
I mean,
to.
this is
How
I mean,
big of a
obviously-
season it is. By the way, I,
mean,
don't
we're
have a big
looking-
AL East team making the playoffs, and that's and I do have the Yankees making the playoffs, but I do have a big AL East team not making it right now.
Obviously,
You-
I have a hunch.
Oh no, it's not who you're expecting at all. Find out in a couple of weeks
On
when
the
we do
big
that
team
video.
who like you're expecting to not make the playoffs, I think I know who you have. It's a hot take. That a lot of
I
people
have a couple AL teams that are like supposed to be good, but like I think are gonna be some of them sub 500.
I
Shout
feel
out
like
to Seattle Mariners.
I feel like if you're gonna say AL Central teams, that's too easy of a target. That's way
Yeah,
too
no,
easy.
I mean,
AL
yeah, the AL
Central,
Central
I'm being
is terrible.
I've been being very disappointing. Why didn't the Tigers do more? You had
They
a
should
chance
have done
to sign
more.
Alex Bregman, and you did nothing. So you're content with Javier Baez and whoever else you have playing third. Fun. Now, only the young starting pitching for them can actually develop other than Tariq
They have
Skubal.
Tariq
Can
Skubal.
Jackson Job develop, please? Like, I love him. Please develop him. He's disgusting. As a 3-starter, Skubal, you have Flaherty, who I was just getting to, and Jackson Job. And they all like are gross. Like, that'd be excellent. But the Tigers did nothing. The Royals, they did nothing. They didn't really do anything
I don't
either.
remember
Whereas,
what they did.
the Twins suck now. So like I can't really
The
say.
T's. Use their
The
property.
T's, right? The T's are here. The Guardians. I mean, the Guardians got pitching help, kind of.
They also got rid of Jimenez, but that was probably a good move.
Yeah,
for them.
that was a
probably
good
a good
move.
move for them.
But I mean, the Indians, the Guardians. They just signed. I keep saying it wrong.
Wow, unbelievable, Robbie. Unbelievable.
We're getting canceled. GG's in the
In
chat.
February too.
In February. See, it's not in season yet. Therefore, I don't like. Damn it. I'm finished. The Guardians signed John Means a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. He signed yesterday, didn't he?
Yes, it was we found out about it 2 nights ago, but he signed officially yesterday. I like it. You know, John Means, remember he's gotten injured to hell and back multiple times.
Yep.
He threw a no-hitter recently. Like the last season, he stayed semi-healthy
With the Orioles.
with the Orioles. Yeah, when they threw the no-hitter against the Mariners. So there you go.
Do we want to touch about tomorrow night's game with
Yes, we got.
basketball?
We have 7 minutes left in our show, and because we are Iona people,
Iona.
it is the game of all games, the spectacle of all spectacles, a game that has no name, a rivalry that has no name, but is more well known throughout New York State than many others. That is Iona Manhattan. We are back again tomorrow, and you can
That's a
check it
big
out.
Game.
On ESPN.
And you can check it out on ESPNU and the showcase game on WIUR Mixler. Make sure to check it out. It'll be me and my good friend from I forgot the show name. Dang, I had a whole ad written out.
Was it
Shout out Chris Gambino.
Chris Gambino.
Yeah, it'll be
You
me and
forgot
Chris.
the name, of course.
I didn't post this
you
week.
do need to prepare. Oh my goodness, you do need to
I
prepare.
didn't post this week. I'm finishing off my prep tonight and tomorrow while I'm watching shows. But the game tomorrow, the impact of the game for both teams' seasons is so big because if you win, you basically clinch your spot in Atlantic City. If you lose, if you find a way to lose, especially if you're
which Iona
Iona,
been doing recently.
This basketball team
Right.
has been finding a lot of ways to lose.
Finding ways to be inconsistent.
yes,
I mean, yeah, like I can't get a read on these guys. It is. I mean, it feels weird to talk about this team from like a fan perspective and like kind of criticize them because like these
Right.
are. It's like I know.
some of them are my boys. Like I
Yeah.
feel terrible about this.
because like I
We have a
know-
class with one. of
Yeah,
them.
we have a
I have a
class.
cla-
With, we have a class with.
them.
Yeah, we have a class with a player and an assistant coach.
He's not an assistant coach.
I mean, well, he's on the.
He's like one of the grad assistants or whatever.
Yeah,
But
he's on the staff.
Let me
He's
talk
in a
about
suit and tie on.
everyone is. Let me
I mean,
talk
yeah,
about
like,
the
he's
impact
out
of this
there.
game. If Iona unfortunately lose the game tomorrow, the upcoming schedule is not as easy as it sounds. Yes, they still have to play at Canisius and at Niagara, which should be 2 wins
They
for
still got to
them.
play Merrimack.
They got to play
Pedal.
Merrimack and a underrated Sacred Heart group. So if they
They
find
put
a
up
way
80
to
on they put
blunder,
80 up on them in the first game.
yeah, and we lost by 20 plus, and we called it in here also on WIUR. The impact that a loss, because remember the first game with Manhattan, Iona got, got
Trounced.
Stuffed in a locker.
Trounced.
that's a way to put it.
Stuffed
It
in
was
a locker.
bad.
But
It was bad.
If you
my
look
roommate went to that game because
I was supposed to
his sister,
go.
his
His
sister,
roommate, yeah.
his sister is on Manhattan's dance team.
but
Okay.
look at Manhattan recently. They've won
They
3 in
beat
a row.
Merrimack.
They did beat Merrimack, and that's a very impactful win, mainly from everyone else, including Quinnipiac, who just jumped to top of the league. Merrimack's
because
fallen
they
down
beat
to
us.
3rd. The one thing I like though about this Iona group is that they've had a lot of close games against the top 4.
See, that's been better.
excluding. I mean, Manhattan's 5th, so
Huge win against Marist.
you have the huge
Oh,
win
yeah.
away to Marist. You
Huge.
have 2 close games against Quinnipiac. The win at Mount St. Mary's. They've been able to hang tight with the teams at the top. Last year, that did not happen.
I mean, they've just had a really rough time closing games.
Yeah.
Everyone has
There have
this
been
league.
multiple games where we've had
Leads.
like leads against Quinnipiac. We led in the second half both times,
They just
and,
can't
and like
finish.
we just fell apart. Like I think this team, if they just fix up their finishing problems and just being able to close out games and just land the plane in all of these situations, I could see this team getting the privilege of getting blown out in the first round of March Madness.
I mean, right now, by the way,
Tobin Anderson has a history.
we're not
of
safe to
pulling off
even make it because
miracles.
we'd be in the first 4 right now. The MAC is a first 4 school, which is extremely disrespectful for how chaotic our league has been. Because if you've been able to
Wait,
watch
we're a
it,
first 4. No, we've gotten
right now we're a first 4
Every-
school. Right now
Dude,
we're a first 4
everybody we've
team.
gotten-
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. dude,
Right now
that's
we are projected as a
stupid.
first 4 team to play against like whoever. My thing is this: no one's actually that good. So there's a lot of teams that can get hot really late
just
and
need one
make
good
it
week.
impact.
I mean, yeah, you just need one good week.
I
dude.
think
It's,
two
it's
good
all
weeks.
about Atlantic
I'd say
City.
2 good weeks.
I think it all comes down to just AC. It just comes down to that because I remember my freshman year with Patino. We played in the MAC final.
Awful in the last couple weeks of the
We
season.
played in the MAC final against Marist, who was the 11th seed, and they kind of played us well. I remember I was riding back from the esports tournament my freshman year, which was a
Shout
great
out
time. I got
esports.
to go to the quarterfinal. I got to sit like courtside.
Yeah, you did.
Not like courtside, but I got really good seats
Yeah.
to the quarterfinal game against Mount St. Mary's that year, where we beat them. But like I caught the second half of the game, and it was really fun. I was there with it was anyways. But I remember I was sitting on the bus. I was like following the game on Twitter, and I'm like, dude, like we can't do this. No, especially after the Ryder debacle the year before.
Yeah,
like that would have been. I would have lost it.
Like
And especially right after he would have dipped for St. John's.
right. I mean, granted that year we made the tournament, we deserved to lose to UConn. That second half was one.
Dude, we should have.
they're the only
we
team
matched up against any other top seed, we would have won. And
I don't think so.
that team was, dude.
They had a first half lead over.
Walter Clayton is an all SEC.
No, what I'm saying is like,
Danish Jenkins was an all Big East.
what I'm saying is that the only other 4 or 5 seed that I think we would have had everyone been like automatic upset Iona was Virginia, who lost to Furman.
I mean, we would have
Remember,
beaten Virginia.
Furman
we would have
beat Virginia and should have beaten Virginia by a lot.
We would have blown the doors off Virginia.
I think we would have matched up pretty good against Virginia, but I think it would have been much closer than you would expect. I think we would have beat Virginia. I think that's a good possibility that we would have, because we would have ran them up and down the floor.
But we were the only team that led UConn at half in that whole
exactly.
tournament,
In the last couple of years in March Madness, and this year I think that will change because UConn has fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll wrap up by saying is that the MAC is so wide open. There's no team at the top you'd be like automatic champions done. We had that team last year and they didn't even win it. So shout out Quinnipiac. I don't think they won it last year. Who won it last year? Oh no, Quinnipiac didn't win it last year.
No, it was St. Peter's.
St. Peter.
Yeah, I think it was St. Peter's last year.
No. Who won the
Don't
MAC
hold me
last
to
year?
it. We have
We beat
we have
Manhattan.
fact checker over there.
We beat Manhattan, then lost in the second round.
So
we beat Manhattan in the play-in, and we barely lost to Fairfield.
I was there for the game against Manhattan.
I was in Atlantic City, but I didn't go to the game.
St. Peter's did win.
Oh
They
yeah,
beat-
Quinnipiac lost to St. Peter's.
By 2.
Right. Yeah. So last year St. Peter's won the MAC.
Dude, Fairfield went on a big run.
But the teams that who right now, well, I'll just give my prediction for this. Who do I think will be the team that will be the sleeper going into the MAC tournament? There is a sleeper that not a lot of people are talking about, that if they get hot from 3, that they can be a real contender, and that's Siena. A Siena squad that are one of the best 3-point, one of the better 3-point scoring teams in the conference. They don't match up well with Iona, and we've learned that from the matchup we played previously. But that Siena team, if they get healthy and they can start shooting from 3 like they have against teams like Iona and Quinnipiac, they're a team that can possibly win the tournament. Granted,
you have that one good week.
You need that one good week. Granted, right now they don't match up well against a team like Marist, but I think they can still beat a team like Marist. Yeah. So there's still a lot that can happen. The MAC is unpredictable, just like our show. But unfortunately, all our shows do one day have to come to an end. As that is the end of today's edition of Ball Knowers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the WIUR Gales YouTube channel and check out WIUR Broadcasting on Mixler. Doubleheader this weekend. It's a game on Friday, Iona Manhattan and Iona Merrimack men's basketball at 7 p.m. tomorrow night and 1 p.m. on Sunday. Make sure to check it out. For Cam Woolley and Luke Dolan, I'm Robbie Basil saying so long. We'll see you guys next time.
2 nations.
Enjoy tonight's final. USA Canada should be a doozy.
You're listening to WIUR Sports Radio.